I noticed quite a few comments on my top 5 sniper rifle video talking about different snipers, why they weren't on the list, and different scopes that make those snipers good. So for this week's video, I thought I'd keep the conversation about sniper rifles going, except this time we're going to be looking at every sniper rifle scope in the game, and as a result, we're going to be able to take an actual look in comparison at each different sniper scope, which ones ended up being quite similar, and which ones are truly higher zoom, medium zoom, or low zoom scopes. So I'll start rolling all the different scopes in the video, and I'll just provide a small commentary while they're rolling. I've wanted to do this for quite a while, honestly. I'm happy that I finally got to just screenshot every scope in the game currently as they are, and just have it compiled in one place for myself, and of course for anyone else who might be interested. I grouped all the scopes based on being exactly the same or just barely different into the categories highest zoom, high zoom, mid zoom, low zoom, and lowest zoom, and I tried to order the scopes from highest zoom levels to lowest based on those groups. It's important to mention that I measured the scopes at a 95 field of view, so for reference, console is 72, PC's maximum field of view is 105, so this is kind of ish in the middle of that. And when scoped in, I was 30 meters away from the target, which is actually the distance of the inside lane of Altar of Flame, just for reference. Some key observations of mine were that named scopes that appear on multiple different snipers are indeed all of the same, I can confirm that, and some scopes with different names are nearly identical, just found on different foundries and even aesthetics, Hake, Omlon, Suros, or even the EDZ design, weapon aesthetic, and just generic scopes as well. Funny enough, the popular ambush scope, mostly used on the Aachen, the blue sniper, is what I'd classify as a mid-zoom scope, and this class includes Tadara Gaze, the Long Walk, and Fake Cries Foul. The shorter zoom scopes are slightly less zoomed than the Aachen's mid-zoom class scope, and most of these appear to offer a wider FOV than most other scopes in the game. Many popular snipers have these shorter zoom sights, like Alone as a God, the Aikido Sniper, the Luna Nullis's short gaze sight, the Persuader, and even Izanagi's Burden. However, I did say shorter or lower zoom scopes because they are not the lowest zoom scopes in the game. The lowest zoom scopes in the game belong to a select group of snipers, and I can say that all of these are very, very popular, and this includes Bite of the Fox, The Supremacy, The Long Goodbye, Dread Adventure, Darcy, Whisper of the Worm, and Silicon Neuroma, and we can't forget, of course, Twilight Oath, which is the one exception that surpasses all of these as an even lower zoom scope for the lowest zoom scope in the game. So what exactly is the best type of scope to be using in Destiny 2? I can't exactly justify using a long zoom scope in any activity, maybe PvE, maybe Gambit, but even then, To me, the decision's really between a more medium zoom scope or a short zoom scope. The benefits of a short zoom scope is that it feels quote-unquote snappier because it's easier to flick to targets. It's got less magnification, and that means less distance for your crosshair to move across when flicking or tracking a target based on your sensitivity, and it requires less drastic crosshair movements necessary for when you're trying to again follow a target or flick to them. Lower zoom scopes are better or more forgiving for those who scope in off target or just scope in loosely and drag their crosshair to their target, otherwise known as drag scoping. Not to mention that most maps in Destiny 2 tend to have many close quarters areas, so short zoom scopes provide a good amount of versatility, allowing you maybe to even snipe within closer ranges. But what are the benefits of a slightly higher or medium zoom scope then? Well, increased zoom provides you with a bigger target. When you scope in, you will have a bigger target to shoot at because of the magnification, and better performance down longer lanes. More magnification gives you that bigger target, like I said, but you'll have more distance for your crosshairs to move based on your sensitivity, and this will require more drastic crosshair movements necessary, and maybe for some a higher sensitivity. These scopes might be better or more forgiving for those who can line up their shot at the hip and scope in on target for a quick shot, or also better for those who have trouble making more fine movements or snaps. Although there are only few, medium zoom scopes do have better performance than low zoom or low range snipers down lanes. They're still versatile enough for some close quarter areas, but they're going to require a better ability to line up your target upon scoping in and spending perhaps less time in scope, again in exchange for a bigger target. Like I said, overall, this is really up to you and what you're comfortable with. Whatever kind of scope feels good to you and matches your style of aiming, matches your muscle memory well. It's really subjective, but hopefully these tips will help you out. Just some good examples, once again, to recap of each of these scopes. For a low zoom scope, you got the Supremacy, you've got the Twilight Oath. For a medium zoom scope, you have something like the Aachen. That's a great popular example of one. Tatara Gaze is another great example of one. But if you're looking for something in between the two, a lower zoom scope, but not the absolute lowest, then you can find yourself maybe with an Izanagi's Burden or Persuader, something along those lines, as some suggestions. Anyways, hope this was helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can check me out on Twitch if you're looking for more content, twitch.tv/Drewskys, link in the description. But if not, that's okay. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys later.